How's it going, guys? 5.0 is finally here, and I've got a Coops replay on the Wood Elves up against the Empire and their new goods, headed by Lamb Sauce King from the Night Crew. Now, from what I can see already, this is a Drycha Vanguard build with a bunch of Dryads. So let me pause before things start happening, because they're going to happen fast from what I can see. Dryads up front, all 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, yeah, well, I can't count. With Drycha and her ability Rouse to Wrath for that 1 Dryad summon, which is pretty freaking good. Along with it, Enfeebling Foe and Melkos, along with their item, Fang of Tower Off. God, she has so many abilities down here. Yes, Fang of Tower Off, giving that a plus 15-second cooldown on enemy spellcasters, which can be pretty good. It could change the an outcome of a battle very quickly. Say if a unit desperately needs an Earthblood or something, and it's on a extra 15-second cooldown, and you can't cast it before the unit gets routed off. Bam, you got a unit off the field because of that. But in this case, the Empire has brought in a Light Wizard. Still going to be good here. Anyways, for the Cav side, we're going to have Glade Riders with spears on both flanks, presumably. Yep. And in the back line, we're going to have Glade Guard, Starfire Shafts, 2 of them, along with a Waste Stalker. Pretty good. What does the Waste Stalker have? Arrow of Kurnus. Nice. So we're going to be seeing the new magic missile change. So, for those who don't know, magic missiles were changed in the sense that their homing now tracks on multiple units better. So, Tequila Sunset has a video on this, so you can check that out. I'll link it in the description. But essentially, to boil it down for you, it used to, with magic missiles, they would like hit the end of a unit, especially when you're shooting at infantry typically, and only hit like a small burst of it. Now, they will spread out and evenly try to seek out multiple units throughout the multiple models throughout the unit. So it's a lot better now, and probably going to become the meta now, just because of how good it is. Like, again, check out Tequila Sunset video, and you'll just see Gaze of Nagash is insane now. It's ridiculous. But nonetheless, we have some Eternal Guard in the back line, and then we have some Great Stag Knights. Nice. 2 Great Stag Knights. Gonna love to see these guys. I freaking love Great Stag Knights. Some of my favorite models in the game. Just so cool. Some heavy freaking stag cav. Yeah, look at that stat line. 45, 32 with 69 weapon strength. 46 of it being AP thanks to Frenzy. That is so nuts. Plus 20% Fizz Res. These guys are fantastic. Such a good unit. And I hope to see them do well. But yeah, one unit I also forgot is the Wraith of Frozen Hearth, the Dryad Arawar. They have magic attacks, and they have Frostbite, so you can help you catch any units that you're struggling to, that you really need to just nail down. Struggling for a word there. 54, they also have some pretty good stats, 54, 32 with 45, and Frenzy as well, increasing those stats. That, that those magical attacks will help a lot with certain units that have, have physical resistance. It'll help bypass that. And yeah, they're just very good overall. They'll beat most of the Empire chaff. I was gonna say, it sounded like I was gonna say trash. Empire chaff fairly quickly. But Empire side, we have Swordsman, Spearsman up front, along with a new Master Engineer and his tank with the Pigeon Bomb, the dreaded Pigeon Bomb. I love that. It's so incredibly cool. Kind of a bit overpowered considering it's hard to judge first, but basically you don't have a limited amount of uses to it, so you can constantly use this throughout the battle, and it can be very detrimental. It can be very, very bad for your opponent. But obviously, your opponent can dodge it, so there's some give and take there. We have also on the steam tanks, they now have a directional missile block, giving them 100% missile block from the front, a gold shield from the front essentially, and less so from the sides and practically none from the rear, 10%. So really reflecting an actual tank there. It's very, very cool. I absolutely love that. This is going to be a big improvement on steam tanks. And not only that, just cannons in general are a little bit more accurate now in this patch, which is fantastic. So steam tanks just in general just kind of got a big buff. And on the Master Engineer, it's pretty all right. I like them. I like the mount for him specifically because it's expensive, but still very good. And the thing is, as well, Master Engineer in the steam tank gets a grenade launcher, so that could be pretty good against these light armored factions like the Wood Elves. But for the back line, we have Jaeger Corps ROR Hotline long rifles. They have Shield Breaker, massive AP 37, and some pretty big range, 260 on all the Hotline long rifles. But the difference between these guys is they do have that shield breaker ability, and they have this little ability right here called Black Powder Discipline. So if they prepare for 10 seconds, which is basically don't move for 10 seconds, they get more accurate, plus 40 accuracy and 10 reload skills. So they're pretty freaking good as long as, they don't move. I mean, they're still good outside of that, but that could just make them a lot better. Knights of the Black Rose, the anti-infantry heavy cav. And they're very good at holding points that you really need held. They have bonus versus infantry, not a whole lot of AP, but they do have that bonus versus infantry of 8 and 15 melee defense. They're pretty good. ITP as well. Just a very awesome cav unit choice for the Empire. No longer having to rely so much on Empire Knights. We do have a light wizard in the back line with Chance Burning Gaze, but it's on slow mode already. With Chance Burning Gaze, Nav Amnitok, just to catch any wild cav and whatnot, and the power stone for that power recharge rate. Let's get right into it. We do have some spearmen in the back line as well to protect those long rifles. Right off the bat, we're gonna have the long rifles shooting in at these dryads, doing a tremendous amount of damage. We have the first arrows of Kurnus shooting in at the Master Engineer. Did okay, not too bad. About a 200-ish, 300-ish damage. Pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna have wow, yeah, those dryads are already gone. My god, and now they're gonna switch targets over to these glade riders. And down over to these other glade riders. Actually, the Great Stagnites. The Great Stagnites are gonna take a beating here. What are we getting here on the Wraith of the Frozen Heart? Is it the Pigeon Bomb? Pigeon Bomb plus the Hawkland Lion Rifles shooting in it? Wow, this Wraith of the Frozen Heart got absolutely decimated. But to be fair, they're gonna deal a lot of damage still to the swordsmen in return. We're going to have both Wood Elf Cav flanks collapsing in, going around. The Malevolent Dryad Summon coming in as well. Going to get on those long rifles, hopefully. Though we do have a net. Yep, a net of Amnitok is going to be very bad for those guys. They're going to be gone. That either they're going to die or they're going to be, some time is going to be wasted. Though the Race of the Frozen Heart are going to be able to get into the back line. They might end up routing, though, before that even happens. We do have some swordsmen as well freed up that can block them up. Master Engineers getting in, starting to chariot charge that poor Drycha. Race of the Frozen Heart chasing them down, but the spearmen are going to stop them. We do have some Knights of the Black Rose that can stop these Great Stagnites, but the Great Stagnites are going to hit them really badly if they especially don't get the charge. Ooh, yeah, those, wow, look at that damage. And the Knights of the Black Rose are going to, oh. What just hit the Light Wizard there? I think that was the Arrows of Kurnus. My god, look at that damage on the Light Wizard. That Light Wizard is gone. Especially with the Great Stagnites surrounding them. Yeah, that Light Wizard is not coming back. We also have these Glade Riders coming over. Possibly going to rout them as well. Melkost dropped on the Swordsman. And, yeah, poor Swordsmen are going to be having to deal with these Eternal Guard as well. She's not having a great day. Filling Flow dropped on top of the steam tank, and it's going to make it a little easier for the Great Stagnites to get on top of it and take it out. They might be able to take it out there. The long rifles have been caught, 2 of them, one being the Jaeger Corps, which is pretty bad for the Empire's side. Really well played by Koops there. And Koops and the Glade Guard are just shooting in here, get on top of those Knights of the Black Rose who are struggling a bit. But they should be able to beat these Glade Riders eventually. Though actually there's 2 of them, so maybe not. Pigeon Bomb dropped in again. Wow, gonna do some pretty good damage on those Great Stag Knights, and they're gonna be terrified. What are they getting terrified by? Is it by the Mass Engineer? Yep, causes terror. Those Great Stag Knights are terrified and hit pretty bad by those Pigeon Bombs. Over here on the other side, Knights of the Black Rose are holding back these Great Stag Knights here. Is this the same one? Wow. So if they got hit by these Great Stag Knights and they're still standing by, to be fair, Great Stag Knights are more shock have. They're hit and run, so yeah, with that 33 melee defense, they don't want to stick in combat, and the Knights of the Black Rose will hold them off, I suppose. Oh, that's good to know. But yeah, backline is fully compromised, and there's no really range left aside from these Huckling rifles over here that are up. I say that, but then these guys come back, and 18 models here, 15 models here as well. They could start finishing off the rest of this cav in the Empire's back line. Somehow the Light Wizard is still alive. That's very frustrating for Coops. Balance of power is looking a little bit maybe in the Wood Elf flavor, but it's fairly even. Master Engineer is hurt, 3700 HP. How is he doing on value? 2100 value. Yeah, he is doing fantastic. Those Pigeon Bombs are nuts. Buckling Rifles have turned around, starting to shoot in at the Glade Riders, but the Glade Riders should be able to get on top of them before anything major happens. Some of the infantry in the back line coming back for the Wood Elf side. Waystalker is still shooting in. I don't know what they're shooting at right now, but the Glade Guard are compromised, unfortunately, by these Knights of the Black Rose. Waystalker is trying to help, though, with some shots. Drycha is finishing off some swordsmen. We do have some Dryads sandwiching the Spearmen, going to finish off the Spearmen. Most of the Empire infantry is being finished off at the moment. Empire doesn't have a whole lot left, especially with these Huckling long rifles being chased off and finished off by these Glade Riders. Though the Master Engineer has something to say about that, and is going to come over and start landing some shots in. Yeah, actually that's some pretty nice damage there. But yeah, Huckling rifles are finished off. Might be able to come back, but they only have 8 models left. They're not going to be able to provide a whole lot of utility. These Knights of the Black Rose get Milcost again, and or rather getting Milcost on top of them, and are going to be finished off. Probably they only have 13 models left, and yep, there they go. They are routing. These Dryads are going to chase them off. Waystalker still some ammunition. What's that value look like on the Waystalker? 815. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good. I mean, I don't know what it's must have been shooting at, but I'm sure it's had some good targets. These Great Knights coming back. Great Stag Knights coming back with 7 models. I don't know if that cannonball hit, but somehow they don't care. They're still up. They got 3 they have 3 leadership. These Dryads hanging about. We do have some Glade Riders coming over to. Not sure what they're doing over here. Probably just a lot of the Wood Elf infantry and units are just grouping together, and this is going to be a win for the Wood Elves. Yep. Just gonna fast forward a little bit. Melkost on thrown on top of the Master Engineer. Pigeon Bomb come in, however, does a little bit of damage to those Dryads, routes them off. I think the Master Engineer either took some damage there from his own Pigeon Bombs, or he got hit by the Drycha, I'm not sure. But yeah, this will be the end of the match there for the Empire side. That Master Engineer is going to fall, and that was a fairly good match there. Though the Master Engineer was chasing down Drycha there. Not gonna give her an easy fight. But yeah, like I said, that was a really good match. And it just goes to show that sometimes investing a little bit too much in those long rifles can be very detrimental for you. They are very good, but I mean, 4 of them might be too many. Either that, or especially against the Vanguard faction like the Wood Elves, a fast faction like the Wood Elves with Vanguard. But let's see the values here. Drycha, 1200 value. Yep, did fairly well. Probably just sitting in Empire troops, dropping Melkosts, some very valuable Melkosts on the Knights of the Black Rose, which aren't cheap. 1300 value. Wow, he went from 800 to 1300 value. Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I think it was they were part of the reason why the Master Engineer, took so much damage eventually. Or rather, took so much damage over the time of the match. Yeah, and also again, you saw that new change with the arrows of Kernus there. I mean, sort of. I didn't really give enough highlights, but I'll throw some more here in this little scene right now. But yeah, it did fairly well now. Arrows of Kernus was a lot better on Warhammer 2 before Warhammer 3. And now, just... Arrows of Kernus is back, baby! Yeah, it did fantastic. These guys did okay. 700 value here on the Glade Guard. Starfire Shafts, excuse me. Everything else did okay. 1,000 value on these guys. 1,000 value. Yeah, the Glade Riders... Massive amount of Glade Riders, just the massive amount of cav in general for the Wood Elf side was very, very tough for the Empire to deal with. They didn't have a lot to protect their backline with only 2 Knights of the Black Rose. At least with the Empire Knights, you have multiple. You can have up to 4 of them probably, with how much he spent on the 2 Knights of the Black Rose and the Hay Jaegers. But you know, you never know what the Wood Elf side is going to go with. These Knights of the Black Rose still did fantastic. As you can see, 1,200 value here and 1,200 value on this. And yeah, both of them just completely paid for themselves and did fantastic. At least I think they're 1,200. Or I may be wrong. I think they paid for themselves. I haven't exactly looked at the costs for the new Empire side stuff. Aside from the stinks. And the boat. Anyways. Value here for the Empire. 2,800 value on the Mass Engineer. Yeah, as you can see... Pigeon bombs are fantastic. I mean, they're ridiculous. You can just spam them over the entirety of the game, and it could win you some very, very important engagements. Just if the opponent doesn't happen to notice. I mean, again, you could dodge it, but on the off chance you look away for a moment, those pigeon bombs could decimate one of your infantry units that you very, very desperately need for the late game. And again, yeah, the grenade launcher on it, and just the ability to run through these lightly armored infantry that can't stop you. I like I definitely love the Mass Engineer and the Steam Tank mount. 600 disc value on the Jaeger Corps. Didn't pay for themselves, but still did good. Obviously once they got compromised, it was game over for them. But yeah, Knights of the Black Rose did fantastic. I mean, you saw them. I was surprised to see that they ended up staying for the rest of that duration against that great Stag Knight fight. I mean, they took so much damage on that charge that I figured that... Sorry about that. I had to cut the recording short there. I was interrupted. But yeah, they did fantastic there. Again, I was surprised that they stood around for so long. But again, that melee defense and on them, 50 odd so melee defense, and then only 30 something on the Great Stags. Yeah, they do not like sustained combat, and the Knights of the Black Rose do. On the other hand, they took that charge and were able to somehow manage to hold back those very expensive cav. Yeah, they did fantastic. Long rifles did good as well. 700 value. These did okay. Unfortunately, not that much actually. 300 on this one and 500 on this one. 600 practically. Yeah, that light wizard getting caught out so early was pretty tough. Gotta say. Though obviously you're not gonna be able to see nets in value, even if he was able to stay up late game. It just, yeah, he got caught out pretty early. It was really rough. And infantry, you know. But great game from Coops and Lamb Sauce. Nice to see the new units and to see how Wood Elves take them on. Well played to both players. I'll catch you guys next time with another one. Bye-bye.